to How to Send Your Child to College Without Going Broke, the Internet Show. My name is Harry Holmes, and I'm a college funding specialist with Holmes & Associates, also a co-author of the book How to Send Your Child to College Without Going Broke. Now, over the next several shows, we're going to be talking about the ins and outs of college financial aid planning. Now, in today's show, we'll be talking how to negotiate for the best possible financial aid package and how to get more need-based financial aid. Now, as you recall from the last show, we talked about how to apply for financial aid and which schools give you the best shot at getting money. We learned that most free applications for the student aid are not easy to fill out. Almost 90% are sent in with errors or inconsistencies. Also, we learned about many other financial aid forms necessary to get the most need possible, to include the financial aid profile form with its business supplements and divorce separated supplements. We also talked about the colleges that give you the best shot at getting money. We learned that not to look at the price tag of the school, but to look at the net you would be paying after your awards. We discovered that some schools will not give you 100% of your financial aid or need and that you qualify. Some may only give you 30 to 50% of that. So you need to know before applying to these colleges. This is information that colleges don't want you to know about. Again, like the last show, we'd like to put yourself in one of three categories, and I call these my parent planning categories. The first category is parents that will qualify for financial aid no matter what schools they apply to, depending on the schools they apply to. In category two, these are going to be parents that may or not qualify for financial aid depending on the schools they apply to because of their income and assets. And then category three, again, I love them to death, but they probably will not qualify for financial aid no matter what school they apply because they make either too much money or their financial assets are too great. Again, it's important to know which category you belong to because there's a different planning strategy for each. Meaning category one will have a different planning strategy, say, than category three. And category two will be different than category one or three. Now, when we do a financial analysis of our parents, we'll identify the category they're in, and from there we'll be able to design a strategy specifically for them. Now, if you can't figure out what category you're in, give us a call at 909-335-2720 and ask to speak with myself or a financial specialist, and we'll send out some information packet and no obligation appointment to go over our service. At this first appointment, we'll identify what category you're in and let you know what your options are going forward with your college funding planning. Now, in today's show, we'll be talking about how schools determine if you're eligible and the different sources of financial aid that is out there. So let's begin to discuss how to negotiate for the best possible financial aid package. Now, this is another biggie. How to negotiate this best possible. You must know your options to get the best deal. Now, this is something I see a lot of parents not take advantage of any time. Okay, they just assume that the school's going to give them an award letter, and whatever they give them is the best deal they can possibly get. This is a huge mistake. Some schools will actually misaward you. Some schools will purposely underaward you, and some schools will try to compete with those schools if you know how to negotiate with them properly. So they'll compete if necessary. It just amazes me that people will spend months researching and negotiating a house or car or a computer or any other major investment in their life, and they won't spend 5 minutes understanding the financial aid system and how to negotiate the best possible package. This is one of the biggest single investments you will make in your lifetime. In many cases, $100,000 to several $100,000. And if they go to grad school, forget about it, it's a lot worse. So people want to spend 5 minutes to understand how to negotiate for the best possible package and get the maximum amount of funding from a school. So let's take a look. How do we negotiate for the best possible package? I have another case study of a client that I rounded out numbers to make it easier to understand. Their original offer, their award offer was, their cost of attendance was $20,000 at this school, and the family contribution was $8,000 because they filled out their FAFSA form and it came back and said they're going to have to pay $8,000. So when you subtract that from the $20,000, their family need was $12,000. Okay, so let's take a look at the aid offered in the original offer. The first thing they were offered was a university grant of $2,000. This is free money. The second thing they were offered was a college work study, $2,000. You recall we like work study as an award because it's not taxable income to the student. The third part of the offer was a subsidized Stafford loan of $2,625. We like subsidized loans because they allow us to use the money at no cost for up to 4.5 years. Now, the fourth part of the offer was a Perkins loan of $2,000. This we have to pay back during the school years. Now, for a total aid package of $8,625, leaving them short or leaving them with an unmet need of $3,375. Because remember, their original need was $12,000 and they were offered from the school only $8,625, leaving them short this $3,375. We went back to the school, wrote a letter, and this is what the school came back with when an adjusted offer after we negotiated. In the adjusted offer, they added $2,000 to the university grant for a total of $4,000. They added a merit scholarship award, which is another grant for another $1,000. They kept the college work study exactly the same. They kept the Stafford loan exactly the same. And they increased the Perkins loan by $375 for a total aid met of $12,000, most of which was an increase in free money of about $3,000 and $375 in loans. If they had not negotiated or not known what to do, they would have had to pay an additional $3,375. And remember, this is for 4 years. You multiply it over the next 3 years, that could have been $13,000 or $14,000 that they could have had to pay out of their own pockets if they had negotiated and asked questions or known what to do. So you have to understand the process and know how to negotiate so you can get what you're supposed to get. Now, my staff was telling me that I should share with the listeners the importance of identifying 6 schools for the FAFSA form or that application. First, it is very important that you profile your student to identify their career path. Most students do not know what they want to do in their life. They don't know what profession they want to pursue or even what types of professions are available to them. With a profile, we can identify a career path that meets their personality. With that information, we match the top 6 schools for your student. Now, once we have these 6 schools, we use these schools to pressure the financial aid officer at the different schools to give us the best award. If you only put 1 or 2 schools to give you on the FAFSA form, the financial aid officer will assume you're only applying to them and have no backup schools. With no backup schools, the financial aid officer has no reason to be aggressive in their award. Most financial aid officers have to use their limited funds to attract as many students as possible, and if you aren't applying to too many schools, then expect a lesser award. Now, let's talk about how to get more need-based aid for college. Now, you can rearrange your affairs to get more money by learning the legally established rules. Let me explain what I mean by this. Okay, there are financial aid, legal, and ethical loopholes. It's perfectly legal and ethical to make and use these rules and that allow you to get more money. It's more like the same exact deal, which I'm sure you all do when it comes to tax time. You ask your tax preparer or CPA what legal and ethical strategies that I can use to pay the least amount of tax dollars so I can keep more of my money myself. I get that all the time. That is exactly what you're doing with a financial aid formula. You want to do everything in your power up front so you can get the maximum amount of funding from whatever school you're end up going to. It's no different than doing tax preparation with a CPA or tax preparer, except you're doing it with financial aid. By understanding and knowing the way the process works and understanding the formulas, you change the rules from the schools having the power to you taking control of the process. In many cases, you can get thousands more over the course of several years, if not per year, just by knowing the rules that most colleges hope you never discover and find out. Now, this is going to blow you guys away. I have an example of a parent client who took control of their financial situation to get the most money. Let's start out by saying their income was $60,000. The total aggregate assets that they had was $50,000 in savings and investments, and then another $50,000 in another real estate other than their primary residence. They had 4 family members and 1 who's going to college. What is the amazing part is that the family contribution was $18,185. This is what they expected to pay each year out of their own pocket before any financial aid is given to them. Now, this family came to us. By taking control of the process, by doing everything legal and ethical, they ended up with a family contribution of $9,153. Literally, almost half as much as just by understanding the way the formulas worked. That's a difference of $9,032 per year. So over 4 years, you're talking about an amount of $36,000 just because they took control of the process and took time to understand how to legally and ethically maximize their eligibility for financial aid. Okay, pretty impressive. Now, I have a listener question. The question is, you talked about all things on how to get the most money possible for financial aid. You can guarantee that you can do all these things. Signed, Ramona. Good question. Now, to answer your question, our college planning service can do many things. We can guarantee that you will get we can't guarantee that you're going to get a free college education for your child. We can guarantee that you will get the most money possible by using the techniques of profiling your students so you don't waste money on unnecessary applications at $50, $60 a piece. You don't waste time because you know what schools to concentrate on. Also, we pick the schools that give you the most free money, less loans. We do everything possible with your financial situation to lower your expected family contribution with the legal and ethical strategies available to us. And finally, we negotiate to make sure you are not shorted on your award. So we don't guarantee that you will have a free college education for your child. Instead, we guarantee that you will be sending your child to the best school that meets your financial situation. Thank you, Ramona, for the question. Now, if you have a question, like we just answered here, just call us at 909-335-2720. You can fax the question if you like at 909-335-2730 or email it at taxvet@sbcglobal.net. And also, if you'd like a free consultation, please give us a call and we'll send out a packet and schedule an appointment. So thank you for listening today. Next time, we'll be talking about the new tax laws related to the education process and your options going forward in the financial aid process. So this is Harry Holmes, your college funding specialist. So until next time, remember, if you're tired or afraid of the college planning process, Holmes & Associates is here to help. Just use your phone, fax, or email us. See you next time.